It's the first of the month. You open your banking app, same as always, and somehow the number is lower again. Not because you splurged, you barely spent. You did everything right, worked hard, saved, bought the house, and you're still falling behind. That isn't your fault. The rules were written for someone else to win. Every smart money move quietly sends your cash up. You're not bad at the game. You're the fuel. By the end, you'll see the one move that flips you. Here's the rule nobody says out loud. Earning gets taxed and eaten. Owning gets rewarded. And almost everything you're told to do keeps you earning. So let's climb the ladder out of poor. 6 rungs. Watch where the money actually goes. Rung 1. You work for a wage. You trade your hours for dollars. Fair deal. Except those dollars buy less every year. Picture your grandparents. One paycheck. It bought a house, a car, and a stay-at-home parent. Today, that same paycheck barely covers rent. Your work didn't get less valuable. Your money did. Since the 70s, you produced twice as much per hour. Your pay barely moved. That whole gap went straight to the owners, because banks pump out new dollars constantly. More dollars chasing the same bread. Yours shrink. Meanwhile, the rich don't hold dollars at all. They hold what rises as your cash falls. Same force. Opposite effect on each of you. So you run faster, and the floor slides back. A wage isn't a ladder. It's a treadmill. Rung 2. You save what's left. Save for a rainy day, they told you. But cash just sits there and melts. $10,000 saved in 2000 buys about 5,500 today. You didn't spend it, it evaporated. And that saved cash doesn't even sit still. The bank lends your deposit straight back out. They charge that borrower 7%. They pay you half of one. The bank keeps the gap. Billions of it. You funded the loan. You got the crumbs. Saving cash is the responsible way to lose. Rung 3. You borrow to keep up. Card, car loan, buy now, pay later. It feels like help. It's a pump. The average household pays over 1,000 a year in credit card interest alone, upward, to the same people who own the bank. Here's the twist. The rich borrow too, but they borrow to own. You borrow to consume. Their debt buys things that rise. Your debt buys things that fall. Same tool, opposite direction. Debt isn't the problem. The direction is. And the minimum payment is the real trap. Pay only the minimum, and a small balance lasts years. Almost all of it just feeds the interest. Now, you might think the fix is to just spend less. Cut the lattes, budget harder, hustle more. But you cannot outsave a rigged ladder. The real move isn't spending less, it's owning. Hold that thought. The ladder gets worse first. Rung 4. You buy a house, the dream. Finally, an asset. Finally ahead, right? For 30 years, you rent money from the bank. Borrow 300 grand at 7%. You pay back over 700. More than half of it is pure interest, upward. And the home itself just sits there. It doesn't pay you a cent until you sell. While you pay it down, asset prices run ahead. The next rung is always further than when you started. A house can be an anchor dressed as a ladder. You don't own the home. You rent the money to buy it. And you never really stop paying. Property tax, insurance, repairs, forever. Miss enough, and the bank takes the house you own. Rung 5. You finally get the raise. You earned more. That's real. Good for you. But income gets taxed the hardest of all. A bigger raise means a bigger bite, every time. Then lifestyle creep eats most of the rest. 6 months later, you feel exactly the same. The rich don't take raises. They don't need a raise. Their assets already pay them. You get taxed for earning. They get cash for owning. Earning more just feeds the machine faster. Worse, a raise can push you past benefit cutoffs. You earn a little more and qualify for a lot less. Rung 6. Your pension. The one asset you're handed. Finally, money that's supposed to grow for you, but fees skim it, quietly, every single year. 1% a year sounds like nothing. Over a working life, it eats a third of your nest egg. You get a slow trickle. They get a flood. Even your one asset is leased back to them, and you can't touch it for decades, while inflation works on it the entire time. Step back. Look at every rung: wage, savings, debt, home, raise, pension. Every single one moves your money the same way: up, toward the people who already own. The top 1% now own more than the bottom 90, and the gap widens every year you stay on the ladder. It's not six traps, it's one. The ladder was never built to climb, it's a pump, and you're the one pumping it. So, who's doing this to you? Here's the uncomfortable part: nobody. No one passed a law that says keep them poor. They passed 1,000 small rules that each made sense. And stacked together, they all lean one way: up, always up. No one has to steal from you. The system does it quietly, automatically, legally. That's worse than a conspiracy. You can't arrest a rule. You can only switch sides. So, what's the one move? Stop being the fuel. Not someday. Starting with the very next dollar. The fuel is cash, wages, and consumer debt. The owners just hold the things that rise: stocks, real estate, a business, even a sliver of one. And here's the part that should change everything. The same inflation eating your cash is exactly what pumps their assets up. So cross to the other end of that seesaw. You don't have to be rich to own. You have to start owning. That's the whole shift. Own a slice, an index fund, a home that pays, a small business. 200 a month into an index fund for 30 years isn't a get-rich trick. It's switching which side you're on. Turn your wages into assets. Then let those assets earn while you sleep. If you have a 401k, you already own a tiny slice. The move is to lean in, deliberately, relentlessly. You don't need millions. You need to be an owner. Every dollar you move from cash into assets switches you from the losing end to the winning one. Then, like them, borrow against it. Don't sell it. You stop earning your way up. You start owning. The rich don't make more. They own more. Every dollar you own pumps for you instead of them. Don't earn your way out. Own your way out. That feeling you've had for years, running faster, staying in the same place, it was never you failing. It's the machine, working exactly as designed. Designed to turn your effort into someone else's wealth. But a machine you can finally see is a machine you can step off. And the side you stand on is a choice, finally yours. You were the fuel because you couldn't see the engine. Now you can. So stop feeding it and start owning it. They keep you poor by keeping you earning. But money is only half of how they keep you poor. They don't just capture your cash. They capture your time, your attention, the dream itself. And the trap you pay to escape is the deepest one. That's part two.